All right, guys, Dean of DVD here, and it's time to do something I said I was going to do on a couple other people's videos, and that is top 5 franchises. DVD Collector 1974 and Forkerball. Be careful how you say that. Both did videos on it. I thought it was really good, so I thought I'd do my take on 5 top franchises. 5 top franchises ever. My opinion, not box office gross, not anything else. So my lists are going to differ quite a bit from theirs, and it doesn't surprise me. I'm weird. But I want to acknowledge some that I felt were honorable mentions for a number of reasons. I didn't bring this one upstairs. I have it downstairs in the living room. It's with a lot of the ones that my family would be more likely to watch, the boys in particular, teenagers. And my daughter, some of the Disney flicks. So this whole series is down there. So one of the ones I wanted to mention in no particular order, honorable mention, is Harry Potter. I know others have put that number 1 or 2, but for me, it's an honorable mention. It doesn't make my top 5. I like the first one a lot. I was bored or thought they dragged on a little bit on a couple of them. I did like Prisoner of Azkaban quite a bit, and I did like the last second half of the last movie, part 2. I did like that quite a bit. So, not a huge Harry Potter fan. I've only read a couple of the books. Like I said, I haven't read all the books. One of these days, maybe I'll do that. But for me, that's where it is, an honorable mention category. Another one that's an honorable mention is the Die Hard. There's 5 movies now. This set has 4 of them in it. So this would be a franchise, and certainly this was very successful for Bruce Willis. Made a lot of money for 20th Century Fox. And we got Die Hard, Die Hard 2, Die Hard with a Vengeance, Live Free or Die Hard. Last one, Good Day to Die, I think. That's what it was called. Didn't see it, by the way. Seen all these. Didn't see the last one. And this is a nice set. Pretty basic, but the discs are nice. So if you don't own that, it's a nice one to own, I think. Nice franchise. Die Hard franchise, honorable mention. Another honorable mention, and these are surprising, these are honorable mentions, but I put these all together in the same class, and that is the Marvel Universe. And by Marvel Universe, what I mean are the characters that are on this box, plus the Guardians of the Galaxy. Characters on this box, plus the Guardian of the Galaxy. I'm not counting all the Spider-Man movies. I'm not counting the dreadful, although watchable for me, Daredevil. Ditto with the Fantastic Four and Rise of the Silver Surfer. I'm not counting any of those. The Marvel franchise, to me, is this latest group that they put together in the Avengers, and that I think they're all going to be in one movie, along with the Guardians of the Galaxy. That, to me, is the new Marvel franchise. So I put that as an honorable mention. Your mileage may vary. Another honorable mention that I've got. Let me make sure I've got my top 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where's my 5th one? 1, 2, 3. Oh, 1, 2. No, never mind. One's on top of the stack. Right? I got it. Got it. Another honorable mention, and I know I think both DVD Collector 1974 and Forkerball had this in their top 5. For me, honorable mention, and that is the Planet of the Apes and Rise of the Planet of the Apes and the Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Great series, like it a lot. Honorable mention though for me, and of course the set contains the original Planet of the Apes, Beneath the Planet of the Apes, Escape from the Planet of the Apes, Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, and Battle for the Planet of the Apes, with some extras. So for me, those are all honorable mentions. So now you're wondering, well, what the heck is in its top 5? Oh, one other honorable mention I'll say is the Superman franchise. If for no other reason than for the first 2 movies with Christopher Reeve and parts of Man of Steel. I thought it deteriorated. Parts of it I really liked. I liked the fact when he was you know, when they didn't know who he was, and he was off doing good deeds and you know, saving people and that type of thing. I liked that part of it where they were kind of on the hunt for him, but I thought it deteriorated. Anyway, now let's go on to my top 5. At number 5 is a series that nobody's mentioned in any of their videos, and probably nobody would. But this is a series that ran for 27 years, 26 separate movies with the same character. There's no other film franchise that has done this. It is Zatoichi, the Blind Swordsman. Just an amazing string of movies. Popular in Japan. Great movies. Just wonderful movies. You know, just blind swordsman who travels the countryside, who's a humble guy in a lot of ways, but honorable, and is not going to put up with a lot. And the fact that he's blind and is a swordsman is enough, really. But this is just an amazing set, by the way. If you haven't seen it, I paid $120 for it, 50% off in the Criterion sale, and then sold off all the DVDs for $100. So it cost me $20 for this. Usually the DVDs are empty, but I kept the Blu-ray. My thought was always to put some artwork in all these. I just haven't done it yet, but fits in the box still nicely without those DVDs. Beautiful book with it. Yeah, lots of movies, and which way this goes in? It goes in that way. Just a wonderful set and a wonderful franchise. I put it in there simply for the longevity, but they're great movies as well. So if you haven't seen Zatoichi, I would recommend it. Next up, this is in some sort of order too. So that was 5. Next, in number 4, I'm going to go with the Rocky franchise. This may be one of the few I agree with from the other two, but maybe not. I think there's going to be a couple others. Of course, you've got Rocky, Rocky 2, Rocky 3, Rocky 4, Rocky 5, and Rocky Balboa. All of them watchable for me. If this is on television, I'm skimming through. I can always watch Rocky. Now, there's a newer one out than this. I think they've done something new with Rocky itself. But these look great, and the discs look nice. Each one has got, you know, some decent artwork on it. Indicating what it is. Yeah. So, but I think a great underdog. You know, Rocky's the underdog as far as I'm concerned in every darn movie, even when he's champ. So, except for maybe Rocky 2. But anyway, Rocky, great franchise and favorite of mine to watch. So that got the edge over some other stuff because I like them so much. So that's 4. Number 3. This does agree with Forkerball. Hopefully we have in the same spot, but the Batman franchise. You know, I put Superman in the honorable mention because I don't think the Superman movies never achieved the greatness that these Batman movies achieved. This Batman with Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson was just great. It was a great way to start the franchise. I thought Tim Burton did a great job with this directing, as he did with Batman Returns. Danny DeVito as the Penguin. Michelle Pfeiffer as the Catwoman was just brilliant. And I thought it was, I thought it was very well done. And a great second film. The atmosphere in those first 2 films, Gotham City had a very unique style to it. Although almost otherworldly in a way, but old-fashioned as well. It was a strange thing he was able to put together there. That's the brilliance of Tim Burton. Probably going to, pardon me, get a cold. Batman Begins, by the way, my favorite of the trilogy. My absolute favorite. I think Christopher Nolan did a great job on these. I love origin stories. I thought they did a great job with this one. So this is my favorite of the 3, I think, at least for half of it. I'm less impressed at the end of this one as I am at the beginning and the middle, but love it. Of course, who doesn't like The Dark Knight? Great movie. Wonderful Joker. You really can't... Christian Bale did a great job as well. And, yeah, who wasn't captivated by the performance of Heath Ledger? Here's the Joker. So, and finally, of course, everybody knows The Dark Knight Rises, and another great performance and a great ending to the series. I thought it was done well. I thought it ended well, for that matter. Oh, sorry about that. So that's the Batman franchise coming in at number 3. Number 2 was tough for me. It was really a toss-up between the number 1 and number 2. I really had difficulty deciding, but I finally did. And so I'm going to give number 2 to this one. Number 2 is going to be Star Trek. Great franchise. Certainly tons of movies. I'm going to go kind of in reverse because I just have them stacked up. But, you know, I liked Into Darkness. Not as much as the first one, but I thought it was a good movie. I liked the Steelbook too, by the way. Love the back of that. I can watch all the Star Trek movies. Kind of like Rocky. For me, they're all good. Of course, the Star Trek remake, which I thought was very well done. The original one, maybe the original one gets a bad rap, but you know what? This is a good movie. And I think on Blu-ray, I enjoyed even more. It's a little slow moving, but if you can get past that, some wonderful shots. And what a great way to introduce the characters again from the original series. Then, of course, I've got the, oddly, because it's the motion picture trilogy, but it's really Star Trek 2, 3, and 4, which to me are the 3 best out of the original series. The Wrath of Khan, The Search for Spock, and The Voyage Home. So I purchased this. And then when these individual ones came out, I purchased those. So now we've got, I never unwrapped these either. How many do you have like that in your collection? Probably a lot. This is 5, The Final Frontier, which, you know, I was fascinated by this one to see where it was going to go. Of course, it was outlandish and directed by, I believe, William Shatner, if I'm not mistaken. But it has some really good parts to it. There's some great scenes in it. But, yeah, it's, this is when they search for God. Yeah. And, number 6, I thought this was pretty good. The Undiscovered Country. I thought it was pretty decent. Back to the Klingon diplomat, and there's a murder that takes place and stuff. It's pretty cool. I like that one. I should watch more Star Trek. And then, of course, can't forget the part of the franchise, right? Star Trek, the Next Generation Motion Picture Collection, which has all the movies, which would be Generations, kind of the crossover, First Contact, Insurrection, Nemesis, and Evolutions. Again, I can watch all these. I mean, I know there's some better ones than others. I'm not stupid. I know the bad ones. But I like First Contact a lot. I like Generations a lot. I can certainly watch Insurrection, Nemesis, and Evolutions. I can watch all those. I enjoy the characters. And I always find something that I enjoy in each of these movies. So, Next Generation. So, Star Trek makes my number 2, which only leaves 1, and it's maybe obvious. It's a great franchise. Some of my favorite movies are here. Certainly the first 2 are among my favorite movies, and that would be the Bond collection. James Bond, my favorite Bond, of course, Sean Connery. And then it gets iffy. I appreciate Roger Moore, but he was pretty kitschy at sometimes. I like the latest Bond, but I'm more inclined to go with some of the other ones. I thought Timothy Dalton was a great Bond. A lot of people didn't think so. And a lot of people didn't like that movie, but I did. Sean Connery's still still my favorite. Dr. No and Goldfinger's still my favorite Bond movies, but I can watch any of these, including Quantum of Solace. And I definitely like Her Majesty's Secret Service. Great set. Great franchise. There's another one coming out here soon. Should be great. What can you say about James Bond? It spanned a lot of years. Of course, it wasn't like Zatoichi. They had to change Bonds. But great. And my number 1 franchise. All right, guys, that's it for now. Let me know what you think.